What's up? Welcome back to Nowstalgia. Dave here with a review of Aespa's debut album, Armageddon. We've been waiting for the full-length Aespa release for a few years at this point. That being said, this album is only one song longer than the Girls EP from a few years ago. Nonetheless, we've wanted the full-length Aespa, at least I've wanted it, because I've continued to really push and hope for Aespa to really focus in on what their sound, what their sonic identity would be. And I feel like in the past, I've always been often kind of damning them with faint praise because Aespa is so clearly vocally talented. And when you hear the live singing from them as well, it really stands out, especially among a lot of their peers in the fourth gen. But I've never been in love completely with any of their releases thus far. I think conceptually there's been some interesting elements in terms of the kind of electronic, like AI, like branding of their vision, lyrically. But a lot of the songs, especially a lot of like the title tracks, have kind of left me cold. And often there's like B-sides from them, like Last Time with Don't Blink, or of course one of the debut singles, Next Level. Like when their songs hit, they really hit because again, this is just a group that's very clearly quite talented, but SM has never really focused them in just the way I've wanted. However, Aespa's debut album Armageddon to me is clearly their best release to date and their most sonically diverse music they've ever made. To me, this is Aespa finding their sound. This is Aespa putting it all together and really delivering on the consistent promise I've heard on the past few releases. But with Armageddon now, I feel like we're really getting the return on all that promise, all that investment. There's just a lot of interesting music here. There's a lot of interesting production choices here. And I think Aespa, we know they have the vocal talent, but on Armageddon, across these songs, they're also quite involved vocally, doing a lot of different things as well. So I think it's hardly boring at all. There's almost every song here has a lot to it, a lot of switch ups and vocal flair. Like there's, I think, a lot to be excited about with this release, just because to me, again, this is Aespa really kind of doing all these things at once consistently for the first time. Starting off with track one, which was the lead single Supernova, you have a very kind of uncommon sample here. The Africa Bambaataa Planet Rock sample. You don't get a lot of Western samples in K-pop music, especially something so overt, so blatant, but it's pretty cool. To me, I think the verses are the most fun aspect of this song. I don't really love the chorus. To me, it's kind of in line with where I think some of the weak choruses of their past have been. Like I'm looking at Drama specifically. It's not quite to that degree in terms of repetitiveness, but it's not my favorite thing about the song. I think when the beat flips around like the bridge and you get the strings popping in, I think the song again just pretty involved production wise. And then we have the second single, track two, Armageddon, the title track. I mean, I love Karina rapping on this. She almost always sounds very good as an MC. I'm very impressed with her usually as a rapper. Definitely here. Winter on the chorus, unsurprisingly, really good, but also quirky. Like I enjoy, again, like there's a lot of personality across this whole release, and you get on a song like this. Of course, when you hear like the high notes from Winter and at the end, those like really stand out. But like to me, like this is again one of those like involved songs, Armageddon. There's a lot of flair on this production and vocally, and I thought it was just really impressive. And I love the doubled vocals at the end of the outro, at the first time you're even hearing them on the song. Again, a lot going on. Track three, Set the Tone, probably my favorite song on Armageddon, just because this is like hard rapping from Aespa. Like it's very aggressive, and I just love the attitude on that. I think it like, definitely delivers consistent bass drums, strong hook, fun outro. The We Set the Tone hook, very catchy. I think this song's great. Fourth track, Mine. I think this one's just okay. Again, the chorus doesn't really wow me, but the verses are pretty solid. But to me, the outro, I think, a bit overproduced. Most of this, I don't think, is overproduced at all. Again, I'm happy with the production, but I think in this instance here with Mine, towards the end, it is a little too much. Licorice, I thought this one was pretty bouncy, kind of an underwritten chorus again. I guess this is the lyrical sequel to Spicy and Sweet, if you will. Just an okay song. Bahama, though, I wasn't expecting this. Very fun tempo, breezy chorus, very summery, very island vibe. Not really something they've done all that much before. So it stood out to me just for it being kind of different, even if it kind of feels, I guess, out of place sonically across the rest of the album. But it was interesting. Looking at some of the other songs here, Long Chat. I think the delivery is probably fun on that. Prologue. You get the classic like winter belting vocals. You know them when you hear it, just because she can do that, unlike few people can. So it sounded pretty cool. Just in general, like everyone on that song, I think the vocals are very strong, very silky singing. Living My Life, another kind of new dabble here where you have this big chorus, but the drums are big, the guitar really for the first time, kind of very energetic, almost like pop rock leaning, especially for Aespa standard. I think this one would be pretty fun live though, just from how it sounds. And then Melody, just kind of a whatever outro to me. But again, given the label issues SM had last year, given the, to me, inconsistent project to project output from Aespa, I'm very pleased with how Armageddon sounds. And as we've talked about all the time, it's very competitive space right now with K-pop, with the fourth gen girl groups. And I think Aespa clearly had the vocal talent behind them, clearly on the big label with the backing. But now we're also getting, I think, a really fully conceived, delivered on project with this full length album. And I think it's exciting that they're now, to me, humming on all cylinders, like at their absolute best with this. And we know a lot of the other peers are doing the same. Just a fun time to be a fan. But let me know, what did you think about Aespa's debut album, Armageddon? Do you agree it's their best work to date? Either way, let me know why. And for more K-pop reviews, more music reviews, subscribe. And I'll see you next time.